A semester is half of an academic year in the university, and it usually lasts for about 4 to 6 months depending on where the university is located. Now, unknown to students, each new semester presents an opportunity to start afresh and correct the mistakes made in their previous semesters. It gives one another chance to re-strategize and improve their grade point average, which in turn leads to an overall improvement of their cumulative grade point average by the time they graduate. However, there are strategies a student must apply at the beginning of the semester to get the best out of it by the time it ends. So in this video, we will be addressing that. Don't go anywhere. Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Mrs. Ezine and I'm a lecturer who is passionate about helping students succeed in the university. So in today's video, we will be looking at the top 5 strategies to begin your semester right. So before we go ahead with that, I just want to let you know that I have already addressed these strategies in my book, 15 Strategies to Begin a Semester Right. You can go ahead and send me an email if you're interested in purchasing this book at a fixed amount of this. So go ahead rather to the top 5 strategies. So number 1 strategy is to set semester goals. So the first question you need to ask yourself is, what do you want to achieve by the end of that semester? What is your major goal? That's pretty simple, right? Your major goal is to obtain a high GPA of 4.0 and above if using a 5-point grade system. That's if your university uses a 5-point grade system. Next self-question is, how do I obtain a GPA of 4.0 and above by the end of that semester? Now, this is where your sub-goals come into place. You want to set sub-goals that will lead to the attainment of your major goal of 4.0 and above. So for example, to answer that, you want to study hard, attend lectures, cover all your course materials, smash your CA, and avoid any form of distraction. So now you can set your sub-goals in line with how you are going to attain your desired GPA. Now, to study hard, you can study not less than 7 hours a day. Then for the attendance of lecture, you can boost that up to 100% attendance in lecture instead of the usual 75% that is required for a student to take an exam. To cover all your lecture materials, you can be determined enough to cover all and more of your lecture materials, more textbooks to read to enhance your knowledge. To smash your CA, you have to aim at 25 to 30% of your CA. So that's if you are using the 7 to 30 ratio of if your lecturer is using the 7 to 30 ratio of grading a student. So you have to aim to smash your CA, getting 25 to 30% of your CA. Then to avoid all forms of distraction, you have to identify them and tackle each one so that you can get over them. Next is strategy number 2. Plan. You can't set goals without planning how you intend to achieve them, and you cannot plan without using a timeline. So the question you need to ask yourself is, when do you intend to achieve your goals? Now, for your major goal, of course, when you want to achieve, that's the major goal of a high GPA of 4.0 and above. When you want to achieve that is by the end of that semester when your results come. However, the timeline to achieve your sub-goals will vary and must not be achieved by the end of that semester. Now let's take a look at number 1 sub-goal, which is to study to study not less than 7 hours a day. Now, if you are the type that reads 2 hours in a day or per day, in previous semesters and you now want to bring it up to 7 hours a day, you have to set a time frame that will fulfill that. So in week 1 you can start with your usual 2 hours a day, then in week 2 you can build that up to 3 hours a day, then week 4 you can build that up to 4 hours a day, next one 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day, then by the time you reach week 5 you would have built up to 7 hours a day. And from then, that's from week 6, you can maintain 7 hours a day, and you can even do 9 hours a day during weekends when you have more time. Now you should know that you should set a realistic sub goal and a realistic timeline. If you know that increasing the hour weekly will not be kind of convenient for you or easy on you, you can make it by 2 weeks. Just make sure that you set something that you will be able to achieve. However, do not underrate yourself. You can do more. You can push your brain to do more. Your brain is quite adaptable to whatever you put it through. Just make sure to balance things so that you don't have mental breakdown. You can always do a self-test to test your capacity as the day goes by, and you should know your limit when to stop, because it's not possible to read 24 hours per day. So you should know your limit and ensure that you do not break down. Very, very important. Your sub goals should not backfire on you. You know what I mean? Next on our list is strategy number 3. Set up course goals. So just as you set up goals for your semester, you have to set up goals for each course you are going to take that semester. So the first question you need to ask yourself is, what do you want to achieve by the time you are done with that course? And please don't just give me, oh, I want to achieve an A. No, the best goal to set would be to know that course explicitly well. The main aim is to know the course explicitly well. Now, if you know that course thoroughly, other things will follow. So examples of other sub goals you can set is, of course, number 1, we said is to know the course very, very well. Number 2 is to study for the course like 3 times a day, depending on the unit of the course, because your studying of the course depends on the unit of the course and how well you know that course. Another course goal is to get a high grade in that course, either A or B. By advice, you know, put your aim high, A. And of course, you can aim to be the best student in that course, and of course you should make sure that you don't cheat in any form, whether in the CA or exam of that course. So these are your course goals that you can set to achieve in that particular course for that semester at the beginning of the semester. So let's move on to strategy number 4, which is to set up a study plan. A study plan is a plan that helps you to organize your schedule so that you can study for your courses appropriately and helps you to achieve your set goals. It has some juicy benefits. Number 1, it helps you not to have a mental breakdown due to studying and therefore reducing stress. Number 2 is that it helps you to cover the whole scheme of work for each of your courses on time. And number 3 is that it helps you to balance your academic life and your social life so you can enjoy your stay at the university. Of course, you didn't just come to university just to study, like really. You also came to have fun. I mean, have a fun. Now, to create a study plan that works for you, because it's not all study plans that works for you. A study plan that works for A might not work for B. So tips on how to create a study plan that works specifically for you. Number 1 tip is to check your current study habits and learning style, to analyze your current schedule and time management, plan how much time you need to study for each class, develop a schedule using your calendar, include breaks in between to prevent exhaustion, create time for revision, stick to your study plan, maintain accountability, evaluate your study plan and adjust where needed. Remember, you need to sleep. So how do you create a study plan? It's simple. Just go to your app store and type in study plan, and you see several of them come out, and you can choose the one you desire. But if you're the type that likes writing, like I do at times, you can get a notepad and kind of draw a study plan that is suitable for you. Now, if you choose to do it on a notepad or an app, just make sure you are comfortable with it. The advantage of using an app which will be on your phone is that it's portable and you can carry it everywhere. Also, you can automatically set reminders that will remind you, oh, it's time to study, or oh, it's time to take a break. You know, it tells you when, it reminds you when you are supposed to do this thing. After all, technology makes it easier for us. But if you are old school, then you can combine both the notepad and then your phone on any alarm reminder or whatever to remind you on when it's due to study. Now, the top last 5 strategy to begin your semester, begin a new semester right, is to budget wisely. A budget is an itemized summary of intended expenditure, usually coupled with expected revenue. It's just a list of how, or a plan of how you intend to spend your money within a particular period of time. And you should know that creating a budget before you spend that money will save you from making a lot of unnecessary expenses, and that will make you broke at the end. by the time the semester ends. It also helps you save for the rainy day, because there are days like that, they just come when you don't have any money and you have to rely on your savings. Of course, the best time to create your budget is at the beginning of that semester, before the financial problems associated with that semester arises. I'm very hot, like this Nigerian weather is something else. Let me go and put on the fan. I'll be right back. Now, the first thing when it comes to making a budget is to prioritize. You know, put the much needed things first, like your fees, feeding, and your cost materials. Creating your budget will depend on how much income you receive and how often you get it. For example, if you receive a monthly allowance of 20,000 from your guardian or parents, you have to make a budget of how you intend to spend that 20,000 within a month, and of course make plans on what you intend to save, a percentage. Maybe like out of 20,000 you intend to save 3 or 5,000 out of that month. However, or if they give you 5,000 per week, then you have to make your budget according to how you're going to spend that 5,000 for that week, and you have to learn how to carry over like 1,000 to the next week as your savings. I hope you understand. Always feel to ask any question below. So if you want to make a budget, you can do that by creating it in a notepad if you are the type that likes writing, or you can use your phone by using Excel to create a budget, or you can go ahead to browse budgeting apps on your app store, and also savings app. I recommend PiggyVest. I recommend PiggyVest. This is not a sponsored ad or video. It's PiggyVest. I know that most people use, especially if you are a Nigerian student. You can use PiggyVest to kind of, save your money, or you can choose another app that is more comfortable for you. Whichever one you do it wisely. How to make money and save money as a student will be covered in another video and in another book, so stay tuned for that. Finally, we have come to the end of our top 5 strategies to begin a new semester right. Now remember that I have more strategies, or I have written more strategies in my book, and if you are still interested in purchasing it, hopefully you can just send me an email and I'll tell you how to get to it. You can also follow me on Instagram at Mrs. Ezinye, and I've created a student support channel on Telegram. The link is below, and you can join me over there for more academic tips and advice, and you can ask me any questions that you have concerning academics. I'm always here to support my students and other students in their journey through the university as a lecturer and a student for my previous years in the university. So see you in my next video, and have a very blessed day. Bye.